R&B Money.
Shout out to Keri, man. I don't know how long I've known Keri.
It's at least 20 years we've known Keri.
Keri wrote on Sex, Love, and Pain.
It feels like at least 20 years.
She should have 2 or 3 songs on Sex, Love, and Pain, but we ended up picking one for sure.
Yeah.
Keri wrote on Sex, Love, and Pain. And she was cooking back. I was like, what are you doing?
No, Pen is nasty.
She wasn't even in the game yet.
Right.
She was sitting on the bench trying to figure it out in between Polo and Tim. And I was like, you signed to them? Oh, you're going to be crazy.
Right.
And then for her to go on and then be that was crazy. And then like, it was awesome to be part of her popping back out moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when you suggested it, it was like, oh shit, Keri would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because I felt like even online, and I told her this, I was like, something's going on online with you where everything that you're doing is working.
Yeah, they're reacting.
They're reacting.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, everything you post, the way you're looking, the way you sound, it is reacting. Like it is I don't know what's been going on before now, but right now feels like it's time.
Yeah.
And she was gracious enough to buy in, like, oh, I'm with it. Let's go.
Yeah, nah, she was extremely gracious. And I think she just, in my opinion, I just, like you said, it was about time. It was the right time. And I think it was the right space for her as far as this tour is concerning. Like, you know, it's one thing, and you know this by doing these shows. You do these shows, and you kind of got to pick what audience comes to these shows when it's 8 artists on these shows. Yeah. And these shows are really dope, but you kind of don't know who's coming for who.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Maybe they're just coming for the music, maybe, but like when it's condensed into a tour and it's, 2 or 3 artists, maybe 4 artists at the most, it's like, no. Specific people come to see sets. You know what I mean? And you could see it in the audience, like the people that was ready for Carl Thomas, was ready for Keri Hilson. And obviously it's your tour, but there were people that were coming there that was like, yo, listen, I've been waiting to come see this artist in this type of space.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I think it was, or is a launching pad to everything new that Carl and Keri are about to do.
Right. I experienced it really heavy in the meet and greet, where, first of all, people were taken aback by actually standing in front of Keri and looking at her. Literally at least 15, 20 times in the meet and greet. They're like, oh my God, you are gorgeous. Like they would look at her like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Guys and girls. It's like, Jesus Christ. They didn't know. Right. They'd never been that close to her to really like see her that close, but absorb her energy, which is great energy, right? And of course, there were people who were like, I love you, Tank. I love you, Carl. But I'm here to see Keri. You know what I'm saying? It was that type of thing too. And it was like, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want weighted people involved.
And I think that, ultimately when we were talking about going on tour and how she came up, even just in conversation for the tour, was that it was that she just, in my opinion, she brought a different element. Yeah. She brought a different element. Obviously, she's a woman. It's 2 men on tour. That's one thing, but it's just her presence and her being, in my opinion, her being able to fill that space where, it gives a different element of performance than the other 2 artists.
Completely different.
You know what I mean? And, she brought them ladies out too.
And the way she rolled, even the way she rolled on the road, like people don't know that Keri's an athlete.
Right.
So she's like in that space, like behind the scenes, she's really one of us.
Right. No, and it's funny you say that, right? Because what happens with a lot of women in the game, it's harder to move them around as far as on the road because they, it takes glam and it takes, styling and all these other things that men, they don't really,
certain
like
things
we got on t-shirts right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I knew from Keri's background, from her hustle, from her, like you said, growing up being an athlete and kind of just being game ready. Yep. I knew she was going to be able to do the tour without needing all of the other extra stuff that some artists they lean on.
Mm-hmm.
Keri literally was backstage doing her makeup,
doing it all, cooking.
You know what I mean? Like she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be out there."
Yeah.
And that's unusual in the game.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And obviously in this tour and what it, the requirements for this tour, we needed someone like that.
Yep.
It would have been tougher to do it
Any other way.
Any other way.
Yep.